Thank you so much, Candice, helping me get all set up. And obviously, we're in a whole new world now, strange times, but no more is it critical that we should be discussing our health, and nutrition should be at the forefront. So that is our main topic today, is the immune system, strengthening our immune system. And the great news is there's hundreds of different ways that we can help strengthen your immune. And, again, I know a lot of people are very concerned, which they should be. But again, we just want people to realize if your immune system is strong, then we do not fear anything, because our body is constantly under attack. And so I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And if you have any questions, just please, share that. We'd love to answer any questions as we go through this. I also want to let people know that our next Winer Wellness event will be in just a couple months, July 18th through the 25th. So just a few months away, but obviously you want to take advantage of any of the discounts, tremendous opportunities right now for you and your family with the discounts they're offering this week there at Winer Wellness event. So as we go through this, again, we're just trying to point out we're not making any claims, of course, and also if you're on medications, you always want to discuss any nutritional programs with your prescribing physician as well. We want them to be fully aware of what you're doing, have a great communication with them as well. So we're never telling you to get off your medication, but as you hopefully change your diet and exercise and reduce stress and taking the right nutrients, then hopefully your condition improves or your lab numbers prove, if you're going by blood tests, that the medical doctor, prescribing physician can help work with you to slowly transition. So, but you never want to get off your medication. So we just want to make that disclaimer, of course, from the onset. Okay, so as I was saying here, your immune system, it is constantly under attack. It's not just COVID-19. We're exposed to literally millions of different tiny microorganisms, bacteria, parasites, and fungus, as well as viruses. And Dr. Tracy Strout mentioned that, she recently was able to have training on virus from a virologist, and I think she used over 500,000 viruses attack us every day. So we're under attack all the time. But obviously, COVID-19 has caused the alarm with this very unique virus that we're not normally exposed to, but we are always under attack. So again, our main mission of our immune system is to track those pathogens, foreign invaders down and destroy them. Okay, so if your immune system is not strong enough to do that, that is the role that nutrition supplements can have and help you through this process. So, of course, there's many reasons why our immune system is weak. Obviously, major issues like HIV and AIDS, but allergies, asthma, GI issues. Again, majority of our immune is in our stomach. So if you're having any type of GI issues at all, from major to minor, so what are we talking about there, right? So we're talking about, I call them the ABCs: abdominal pain, bloatiness, constipation, diarrhea, and then some more severe situations, acid reflux, heartburn, indigestion, and then even more severe, colitis, Crohn's, irritable bowel, or inflammatory bowel. Any of these GI issues weaken your immune system. And if you have any autoimmune issues, again, the majority of time, my training has shown me over 28 years of being in the industry and working with hundreds of different types of doctors that it starts in your GI system. So we can help your GI function, and we can do that with probiotics, especially in things like our GI Complete. We can help you with different autoimmune issues as well. We have many, many, many cases, studies that we put on our website on this. Obviously, cancer, major immune system, right? So that's the biggie. But I would also add to this list, if you are stressed, and I know Candace talks about this all the time on the radio, and when she's talking on her healthcare accounts, that as to date, as of right now, today's date, I don't know one single practitioner has COVID-19, and I deal with hundreds and hundreds of practitioners all throughout the country. But I know lots of people are stressed, and so if you're stressed, that very simply weakens your immune. So I'll be doing another talk on Thursday at 1 o'clock, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yeah, Thursday at 1 o'clock, May 7th. I'll be going deeper into stress and sleep and natural solutions that can help you on that. So if you want to check that out, please join us for that talk. But again, the whole point with this is you're all the time, you should be concerned about strengthening your immune system, not just today. All right, so we know the immune system is a very complex set of systems. And so you have all these different players: white blood cells, antibodies, your lymphatic system, which is your drainage system. So if it's clogged at all, again, causes swelling all throughout the body. Bone marrow, your spleen, thymus, hormones. So it's like a delicate dance, and they all have to be in proper balance. So that is what we're trying to do. And if you're out of balance, that's where nutrients can help rebalance it. And again, once it rebalance it, then it can start functioning at 100%. And it's just a great slide on an anatomy and physiology chart. Again, anybody's been in high school, going back to your biology days, have seen similar charts, but it just shows you all the different factors, major players in the immune system there. So it's not just one thing we're focusing on, it's the entire body. And that, again, is our whole perspective, holistic approach, not just breaking you down piece by piece, but working on every single system. Okay, next slide. All right, flu shot. So I just want to, just have a little slight commentary. This is, again, I know this is very controversial on flu shots and vaccines in general. This is a very famous statistical article that we have. And again, I understand both sides, but we want people to be informed, to make educated decisions, not just on supplements, but on everything and medication. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people through the years who weren't aware of the side effects and were experiencing the side effects on the medications, right? And the doctor didn't tell them, the pharmacist didn't tell them, just thrown in back on the insert in very small writing. So the vaccines are no different. There's so many different side effects that could possibly occur. And is it very effective? Again, if you look at it from the statistical evidence, basing it here, 59% in the last 12 flu seasons, the flu vaccine reduced the risk of illness just by 59%. And even that's debatable. The Center for Disease itself likes to say the flu vaccine is about 60% effective. Obviously, 6 out of 10 people get the shot won't get the flu. However, the research shows that only 2.7% out of every 100 adults even gets the flu in the first place. Okay, so if you never got the flu, 2%. All right, but if you get the flu shot, 60% or 40%, right? 60% effective, 40% get the flu if you get the flu shot, right? And again, how effective is it? Again, if you look at many different studies, so meta-analysis is a comprehensive review of many different studies in the last 44 years, showed it was only 1.5% effective, okay? And again, CDC, some years didn't even disclose it at all. So, and if you go on the right-hand side there, if you're over 65 or over, which again is targeted for people now, it has the Center for Disease Control, CDC, said it's little or no effect. And in 1968 to 2001 there, no evidence that it reduced deaths. So there's many natural approaches, and it kind of just fits in. Again, we just want people to do the research before you get that free flu shot. keep in mind what really is being injected into your bodies and make an informed decision, right? So we, again, wash your hands. So this was before COVID-19. We've had this slide for many years. Obviously, proper hygiene, exercise, eating healthy, reducing stress and relaxing, as we mentioned a second ago, and then many different supplements we can use to help strengthen your immune. So again, basic fundamentals. We've talked about this for for years and years. Dr. Weiner, of course, for 40 years. I've talked about for 28. Nutritional Frontiers for 12. Again, basic fundamentals, folks. This is not some magic pill or secret way to help you. Basic concepts. Okay. So there it is right there. Stress, sleep, exercise, and diet. Now, diets, there's many different types of diets out there. We get it. On our website at nutritionalfrontiers.com, if you look under programs, you'll see all different types of diets, whether it's Mediterranean, keto, vegetarian. Again, there's not just one cookie cutter diet. It's whatever diet works best for you, but it's really lifestyle. It's really trying to make changes every single day. It's not just taking a diet for a certain amount of weeks or days, and then all of a sudden, when you reach a certain goal as far as weight loss, then you stop. And what happens, of course, people usually rebound and they gain even more weight. So that's not the healthy approach. Our approach is taking little steps every day. And folks, if you do these things right here, then you take a supplement, the supplement will work way, way, way better, much more effective, much faster. And, you can't out-supplement a poor diet, and you can't out-supplement if you're stressed or you're not exercising. I was saying, and a lot of doctors I work with, a lot of accounts I work with, to say, if you take a supplement, it usually takes twice as long and twice as many pills to get the same benefit if you are doing these things. So we can't emphasize it enough. I know if you are not doing these things right now, again, let's take baby steps. Try to do one improvement every day to get to this level. Okay, next slide. Again, this is just some great tips as far as if you are sick. Obviously, we don't want to eat, 22-ounce T-bone steak. We want to eat light, healthy meals, soups, broths, bone broth, excellent, whether it's organic chicken or bone. Many of my practitioners love those. Again, you want to make it organic, grass-fed. Of course, tea and honey, most people know that, and obviously rest. Basic things, just point out. Okay, so vitamin D. So vitamin D has now for many years making headlines as far as the role that it plays with immune. And basically, when it comes to viruses, it basically blocks all your viruses, blocks it. It really helps on that level. Now, most people are very, very deficient. And so, especially in this area of the country, which are not, anybody above the Mason-Dixon line, have extremely low levels of vitamin D. So it's really, really important. And just recently, there's a brand new study that just came out, PubMed, which has shown that you need to take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D a day. So that's even more recent. That just happened this past month. A lot of the doctors and healthcare professionals that I work with are not aware of this new study. But again, we can post that on our Facebook page and just let people know that it is available. But again, if we could do one single vitamin, it would be vitamin D. It's really, really important to help on many levels. And I think we have a chart here just to really explain it here in the next slide. Okay, so here it is. So folks, this is a vitamin D blood test. Okay, so the name of the test, as we have on the slide there, is 25-OHD3. So that is this is only a blood test. So if typically a doctor, there's a huge range on this blood test. And it says anywhere from 30 to 70 is optimal on the blood test. And we always question that, because how can something be double the amount but yet still be in the same quote unquote normal range? So this is a fantastic chart because what we did is we compiled a lot of different studies and basically put it to statistical analysis with that. And again, it shows you really where you need to be at to have a healthy vitamin D level for all different types of health issues. And this chart is actually a great resource if you want to look up more information. It's vitamindcouncil.org. Again, vitamindcouncil.org has thousands and thousands of studies on vitamin D. And so this is one of the charts that was on there. So that's where we get this reference from. If anybody wants to do more research, and I strongly recommend it if you doubt us when it talks about vitamin D, but look at cancer, all cancer combined. So if you get your levels between 36 and 40, that shows 35% prevention of all cancer, okay? Not 30, not below 30. Most people in Pittsburgh area and most people throughout the country are below 30, unfortunately. There are doctors that we work with that have told us they've tested thousands of people's levels of vitamin D through the years, and they've told us that it's extremely rare, if not never, do they get anybody who gets cancer if they had above 70. So really, between 70 and 100 is really what our training now is being taught. And many of the functional medicine doctors, medical doctors throughout the country are really emphasizing with people. But if you go through this list, I mean, breast cancer, right? Breast cancer, if your vitamin D levels are 33, so we want to look at that top number because that's United States there. So 32 is only 30% chance of reducing breast cancer. But look at it at 51, right? 51 shows 83% reduction of breast cancer. So I know there's a whole month dedicated National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but I've not yet heard one single thing mentioned to take vitamin D, to increase your vitamin D, to really help prevent breast cancer. But here it is here, folks. Then you keep going, ovarian cancer, colon, diabetes, type 1. Look at the difference between a low range and a high range, how we can help with diabetes. I think most people know that vitamin D helps with bone fractures. But again, some people at very low levels aren't going to get the benefit. And then you look at multiple sclerosis. So again, autoimmune issues associated with vitamin D levels. And again, the heart attacks, right? If your levels there, just slightly higher on this. And then you keep going, kidney and endometrial. And now you might say, well, gee whiz, you're telling me that you want me to take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D a day, Mike. But the recommended daily allowance is only 800 IUs of vitamin D. And most doctors, allopathic doctors, shall we say, get a resistance to taking higher levels of vitamin D. So I always ask that question, do you really know what the RDA stands for? And for vitamin D, the only thing it stands for is at the very bottom, to prevent rickets. That's it. Which, of course, is a national epidemic in our country. No one. In fact, in the 28 years I've done this, I only had one case of one doctor have rickets, and it was a 6-year-old boy. That was it. No one else, ever. And I've done hundreds of different practices throughout my career here. So I think RDA stands for really dumb amounts. Really dumb. Because that is really what it is. That is the bare minimum levels of vitamin D level that you should have. It's not the maximum level, right? So 10,000 now is being recommended. There is published medical journals right now saying you should take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D. So this is a fantastic chart. Please share this. We can get you copies from our home office if you need it. Okay. So I mentioned diet, right? To me, diet is a 4-letter word. You know, again, people think it's just only short-term, temporary. It's not. It's a lifestyle. So there's so many foods. We start with foods first, right? Of course, vegetables. Try to make it organic if possible and fresh and raw. Now, of course, with it now being springtime and getting into summer, a lot easier to find those fruits and vegetables there, right? But if worst case scenario, you can have frozen, but just try to make it organic as much as possible. Again, not a big bread person. Try to avoid it, especially the gluten that's in bread. A lot of people are sensitive to it. Legumes, seeds, nuts, all important. Again, organic. Sweeteners, again, try to avoid anything the white. As Joe Messino says, the white devil. Stevia is what we prefer, or blackstrap molasses if you like that. That has some additional nutrients in it. Obviously, with proteins, if you're a meat eater, try to make it organic or free range, right? With fish, try to make it wild, right? Not a fan of milk. Most people, the top 3 food sensitivities out there are dairy, gluten, and eggs. Those are your top 3. 9 out of 10 people are sensitive to foods. Those are your top 3. So there's many options: almond milk, coconut milk. Just try to make it, of course, sugar-free. They do sell these at Dr. Weiner's Wellness Clinic there. Of course, oils, all different types of good oils. It's not listed, but my favorite is actually grapeseed oil. Okay, but olive oil is excellent as long as you know it's quality. Sunflower, so it goes on. Water, should be trying to drink, the saying goes, half your body weight in water in ounces, spread throughout the day, of course. But if that's too much for you, or you're not drinking any, let's start with 1 glass and then try to build up. And of course, spices and condiments, especially garlic and onion, curcumin, oregano, awesome to add to any meal. So basic things, if you need these food lists, they're on our website as well. So I mentioned lifestyle with stress. Again, I'll go about more in detail on Thursday at 1 o'clock, but basic things we can do now that doesn't cost anything: exercise, deep breathing, yoga, meditation. Again, just breathe. I heard Deepak Chopra a couple of weeks ago in the middle of this pandemic on the radio, and he just said, let's focus on the breath. Just breathe in for 6, hold it for 2, and then breathe out for 4. And just try it a couple times a day. If you're in a stressful situation, panic situation, just breathe. Okay. All right, let's move on. All right, so what can we do nutritionally, right? So at Nutritional Frontiers, we have many, many different options here, right? So we're just going to go through this. The bottom line is, if you do any of these, they will help you what you prefer and what you want to do, okay? So let's just kind of take these one by one. If you want to just handle one thing, good. If you can do more than one thing, even better. But again, whatever you can handle, whatever your budget affords. So let's go through these one by one, just to give you a little bit more background. Okay, so let's start with vitamin C. So again, Linus Pauling, many years ago, won a Nobel Prize for his research on the benefits of vitamin C, a medical doctor. A lot of current allopathic medical doctors forget about that, right? But tremendous research on the benefits of vitamin C. Obviously, there's all different ways you can look at this, but it helps obviously strengthen your immune, excellent for your skin. Again, neutralizes free radicals to prevent damage. So you want to look at like free radicals as like rust on a cell, okay? So what happens if we, just a simple analogy, if we cut an apple in half and we let it sit there for, a few minutes, what happens is, of course, it turns brown. And that is free radicals attacking the cells, and it starts to oxidize and it starts damaging the apple. Well, this is what's happening in every cell in our body, and there's trillions of cells in our body, but usually it's not as quick as that apple. It's obviously a slower time frame. But if you are eating poorly, if you are not exercising, if you are stressed, okay, it really speeds up these free radicals, right? We talk about the aging process. So vitamin C is one of the things that we can help prevent the damage. Okay, so there's many different theories on how much to take and what you take. You know, again, preference-wise, 1 gram is preventative maintenance, which we have in a capsule. So the Buffered C Plus is a capsule, 500 milligrams, or we have it in a chewable if you prefer the chewable, right? These are each 500 milligrams. So 2 a day, there's your 1 gram. There are doctors that I work with, if you are under the, under the weather, cold, flu infections, then they do higher dosing. And there's some doctors who are more aggressive. And then there's some more doctors that even go to bowel tolerance, where you do 1 to 2 a day, several times a day until you have a slight bowel movement, and then you cut back the dose from there. So again, lots of different ways you can take vitamin C, whichever one you prefer. The chewables are excellent for kids. They have a little cherry sweet tart taste to them. The capsules, of course, are unique. They are non-corn, derived from beet juice. And it has a few extras in there as well, bioflavonoids in there too. Okay, so vitamin C, really important. Now, Airmax. So Airmax, to me, is the fastest natural antihistamine on the market, okay? So for allergies, and now we're in allergy season when the flowers are blooming. For some, this is the worst time of the year. So instead of medications like Benadryl, can make you drowsy and have side effects, and Claritin and all those type of medications, they have side effects. Why not try something natural? And so Airmax is really, really effective to help as far as give you quick relief. In fact, I've sampled this hundreds and hundreds of times at previous Wonder Weeks and throughout other practitioners that I work with. And again, the results we get is people work with it in minutes. In minutes is what we typically see. Now, again, everybody's different, right? But usually within 15 minutes, someone should feel this and notice this, especially if you take the recommended dose, which for adults would be 2 at a time. So what's in it that makes it so fast? Again, there's some vitamin C. We have a patented trademarked ingredient called Benegut, which is perilla seed. Now, most people never heard of perilla seed, but it's used in traditional Chinese medicine for thousands of years. And there's research on this in animal in vitro that it, again, helps with allergies there as well. And comparing it to, again, the medications. Benegut also helps on the gut. It actually has an enzyme capacity component to this. Again, we talked about the connection with GI and immune. So Benegut takes perilla seed to a whole new level. Then we have zinc. Again, we're using a really absorbable form of zinc. That arginate chelate, that tracks, that stands for the real amino acid chelators by Albion, which is the most researched minerals in the industry. They also do the most testing industry as well. So we're using the zinc there. And again, there's many, many different zinc. And we know zinc is getting a lot of press now with COVID-19, but it is, most people are extremely deficient in zinc. 9 out of 10 people, actually 90%. It helps in over 200 different functions, more than any other mineral in the body. And how it helps with any virus is that it prevents replication of the virus. So we do sell zinc by itself in a lozenger, or we just came out with a brand new capsule in it called Super Zinc 50 milligrams, but it's also in this Airmax, so keep that in mind. DMG, dimethylglycine, does me good. So it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, supplement that I've ever studied in 28 years. And it is the only supplement that had a US patent to boost your immune and to reduce all inflammation. So I'll say that one more time. The only supplement, the only nutrient, no other vitamin, no other herb, nothing has the research and can make that statement that dimethylglycine has. It had a US patent for 20 years. Now the patent ran out, so we can't make that claim anymore. We just say research indicates. But again, it had a US patent. It boosts the immune system. It is your master methylizer. It will enhance any other supplement that you take, so it will not interfere. It'll complement. It'll make it more efficient and more absorbable, which is why we use it in a lot of our formulas like AirMax. And how does it work on the immune? It increases oxygen into the cells. And all viruses, every one of them, all viruses cannot survive in an oxygen-rich environment. All of them. Not making any claims, just stating simple biochemistry facts. So we have it as a standalone in a chewable or liquid. So if you want more, absolutely, but it is in AirMax as well. And then quercetin. Quercetin, I would say, of all the ingredients in this formula, quercetin is the strongest individual natural antihistamine ingredient. And there's research, as you can see in that paragraph, that was even more effective than a medication, cromolyn, at reducing inflammation. Again, I'll say that one more time. Quercetin was shown to be more effective than a drug for reducing inflammation. And it helps with all allergy issues from eyes to pollen, you name it. So, and then when you combine quercetin with vitamin C and bromelain, okay, so again, most people are familiar with that. If you're not, it's an enzyme derived from pineapples. Again, strong research to reduce inflammation and swelling. So when you combine quercetin with vitamin C and bromelain, that combination, I call it the triple stack attack. That will make every one of those ingredients more effective than just individually buying these by itself. And then you add the DMG to this, and then you add elderberry, which is also big in a lot of attention with COVID-19. Again, very powerful immune enhancer, both in vitro and animal studies, is an antiviral, okay? Helps with mucus as well. And then we add the bioflavonoids, which again is a high concentration of vitamin C. So we're adding vitamin C by itself, and then also from a bioflavonoid component. So this is a fantastic formula. Again, I can't go on enough about it. I've had cases, and I'll never forget this case. It was actually right there at Dr. Warner's wellness event a few years ago. This woman came up to me, and it was, she traveled from Johnstown. She had heard his radio show, and she told me she had severe sinus infection and tremendous pain. And I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how long have you had this? It will help. What's the pain level? 1 to 10. And she said, right now it's an 8. Usually it's a 9, and I've had this for 20 years. So we had samples right there of AirMax. I said, please try these, take 2, and come find me in 15 minutes. And it wasn't even 15 minutes. It was like 5 minutes. And she came up to me and she was like crying at tears of joy. And she said, oh my God, pain is gone. She said, oh my God, you helped me in 5 minutes. I've had this for 20 years. And I'll never forget that. You know, to me, that's what this is all about. You know, anybody can sell a vitamin. Anybody, there's hundreds of choices on vitamins, goodness knows. But to change a person's life this quickly and this fast, that to me, that's what it's all about, you know. So we genuinely care about every single person. We want them to be healthy. We want to change their lives. And we did something here that, you know, no one else could help in 20 years. Now, this extreme case, yes, but I've had many cases through the years similar to this one as well. But I'll never forget that one. And I'll always remember that because I saw the dramatic effects of AirMax. Okay, let's move on. All right, probiotics. So I talked about probiotics earlier. Again, many different strains of probiotics. Probiotics, very simply, is a good bacteria that fights the bad bacteria, which we're exposed to every day. Again, over 70%, I've seen some recent studies and data say over 80% of our immune system is in our GI tract. So again, we got to fix that. We can help, but probiotics are critical You should take it every single day because we're under attack. But again, some people I talk to say, well, I could just take yogurt. Isn't that enough? And the answer is no. You're not getting the therapeutic levels. And again, there's dairy in yogurt, and a lot of times there's artificial colors and sweeteners in there or sugar. So again, if you're going to have yogurt, I recommend organic Greek, non-sweet yogurt. But even with that, if you're dairy sensitive or you have any sinus or upper respiratory issues, I don't recommend any dairy product whatsoever. So it activates the white blood cells. So let's continue on the probiotics here. So Frontier Biotics 2. So just a little background on probiotics. When we were developing our second generation of probiotics, that's what that means, the part 2 part of it, we reached out to every known manufacturer in the country and actually in the world on probiotics. And we asked them for just 3 simple questions. Do you have in vitro studies? Do you have animal studies? And most importantly, do you have human clinical studies on your strains that they do? First of all, they bypass the stomach and liver, which a lot of doctors think that's impossible. And we have studies to prove our strains do bypass. They get to where they should be. And then secondly, you have legit article studies, research that says your strains will help on all those. And there's only one source in the world that that was able to answer all 3 of these. So, and we asked them many, many questions because they are the experts. That's their bread and butter. And so the strains that we're using have been from top to bottom, and that's what you want, multiple strains, 10 different strains on the Frontier Biotics. It's actually 6 billion. That's a typo, 6 billion now on the part 2. But it covers the entire GI tract, and there's 6 billion per cap. Okay, so anywhere just 1 a day could be fine, or up to 6 a day if you're more aggressive. But again, if you are having an immune issue, then we want to be more aggressive. But again, if you're not taking a probiotic, this is our everyday regular probiotic that I strongly recommend. This is what I take and have been taking for years and years and years every day. Because again, that battle is every day. Okay. DMG, I talked about a minute ago with the AirMax. So just to recap, it does many things. It can help with all different types of issues. And so this is a protocol that I've had tremendous success with other practitioners have shared with me, and just passing on to you. Again, we're not making any claims, but they've used DMG and the immune tincture to help with Lyme's. Okay. If you've been diagnosed for longer than a year, now Lyme's is actually circulating in your blood. So Pro-Reds, even though people think it is a fruit and veggie drink, but it can actually help strengthen your blood. So, but typically with Lyme's, what we usually see are the acute cases. You usually have joint problems, pain. So if the person has that, then we have the X-Flame or Inflame or Turmeric Plus can help with that acute pain. And to rebuild would be the HA Plus, your joints and tendons and ligaments. Or if you have brain issues, then, so what are we seeing there? Brain fogginess, not thinking clearly, not organized. So that's a typical symptom of Lyme's. So it's usually pain or brain. So if you have those issues, then the brain boost formula works excellent with those. So we want to focus on the main area you're having, but the foundational protocol or formulas should be DMG and the immune tincture to help with that. So again, if people need more help, I strongly recommend make an appointment with Jeff Nisnik there, or Dr. Hahnemann, or Dr. Orbach, and they can walk you through any of these programs. Again, not making any claims, we're just sharing information what has helped for other people in these situations. Protein. Now, people might not think, well, really a protein smoothie can help my immune? Well, our best whey protein can. Absolutely, because in the whey protein, where is the source? The source is grass-fed beef. And so grass-fed cattle is where we're getting that is where we're getting the source of the whey protein. And so when the cows eat the grass, does two things. It increases K2 levels, which is tremendous for bone and your heart. There's studies that show helps with preventing atherosclerosis, K2. And it actually has what's called immunoglobulins. It increases your immune enhancers. And there's even studies with cancer patients using whey protein that it can help, right? So a whey protein and a super shake as well. I mean, there's great vegetarian formula. These are meals. You want to look at this as food. These take the place of your meals. So if you're struggling with weight or struggling to get healthy meals in, if you look at it from these are all both 30 serving containers, these are 30 meals. If you break it down per meal, these are tremendous nutritional value compared to fast food and a lot of other places out there. So I strongly recommend that you have a shake every morning for breakfast or any time of the day. But if you do need your immune system increased, then the whey protein would be a better choice. Unless you're dairy sensitive, then go with the super shake. All right, so other things that can help as well, right? So Candy Kill. So Candy Kill is with Candida. And again, Candida, bacteria, viruses, again, is all connected. So the Candy Kill, if you have Candida overgrowth, and again, we could tell a whole talk just on Candida, but Candy Kill is excellent for that. We have Betazyme or Cybzyme. So Betazyme would be especially if you have gallbladder issues or you feel there's a gallbladder, don't have a gallbladder at all. And then the Cybzyme is just our everyday, all the time, regular digestive enzyme. Has many different digestive enzymes in that one. So either one of those are excellent. Melatonin, of course, for sleep. So now we have a liposomic melatonin as well, which is even more absorbable than the previous formulas we had. So again, it's 1.5 milligrams. You would take that before bedtime if you're having issues with that. But again, it can help with sleep, which then helps with your immune. Iodine, again, most people don't think of iodine helping with immune, but it is connected. And if you have thyroid issues, such as, Hashimoto's and things like this, again, autoimmune. So iodine plus can absolutely help with that. And also our thyroid glandular, thyroid complete now, especially if you have Hashimoto's. There's the DMG again, which we talked about. I'll say it over and over again. If you're not taking DMG, you should be. It should be on everybody's radar. Give it a chance and you'll see and feel a difference. Okay. Multivitamin. So again, is a multivitamin by itself going to help with immune? A little bit, yes. But when you combine it with these other immune enhancers, it's like a giant jigsaw puzzle. So if you combine it with immune tincture or DMG, and also that omega right there, right underneath it, and vitamin D, to me, that's the entire piece of the puzzle, right? So it's like a giant jigsaw puzzle when you're trying to put all the pieces. So we have a regular multivitamin, which has been extremely well received through the years, whole food based, has all the different key absorbable vitamins and minerals. But we also just recently came out with a female version called Women's Complete. Women's Complete. So it's a multivitamin that we've been working on for almost 2 years. We actually partnered up with 10 different functional medicine doctors, including 2 holistic OBGYNs, one from New York and one from Georgia, helped us formulate this formula. It's the most advanced multivitamin we've ever seen, 7 different trademarked ingredients, including 2 different types of probiotics and DMG in it. It is used for every stage of a female life, from teenager to postmenopause. It is a prenatal, but we didn't want to just box it in as prenatal. So either our Frontier Multi or our brand new Women's Complete Multi is excellent. Again, just a multi, just filling in the gaps of what you're not getting in through our food supply, which has been diminished through the years, of course. Omega-3D. So omegas maybe aren't people's radar for your immune, but it should be. So not only does it help with pain, brain, heart, eyes, skin, hair, hormones, and 500 other things, but it also protects and strengthens the cell membrane. And that's how viruses, and especially COVID-19 attacks, is your cell membrane. So we want to make sure you have enough omega. Most people, you cannot get enough in your regular diet. Most people's levels are very low. Our omega-3D is the strongest EPA DHA per pill in the market, as well as the liquid. So two great examples of that. So excellent. Again, I take that every single day. I take a multi every single day, take a probiotic every day. I take DMG every day. These are basic things, folks. You should, if you haven't tried these, you should really give it a chance. And in the colors, especially if you're not eating enough fruit and vegetables, again, any of the colors, the reds, the purples, the greens, the oranges, all are excellent. They're all between 3 and 5 servings of fruit and vegetables. Again, on a cost basis, they are very affordable, only $1.50 a serving at normal price. And so they all are herbicide and pesticide free as well. Okay. So other things we have, of course, I'm not going to spend too much time here. Again, these are more specific niche type of items. So for parasites or microorganisms, paraclans, prostate issues, PSA, rat-free, we discontinued. We do have other options that have very similar ingredients, like our Circucore and our 2020 eye formula has a lot of the same ingredients as the rat-free. Super creatine for people trying to gain strength and size for your athletes. Lymphatic herbal system, if you, again, swelling, congestion, excellent liver gallbladder tincture, and can be kidney and bladder. Again, if you have any of those issues, these can help.
That was awesome, Mike. We're now on to our last slide, so I will let you wrap that up. But we did have a question on Facebook if you can make some general recommendations. As we know, we can't cure, treat, or diagnose, but we can talk about some supplements that can help with the symptoms. So someone let us know that 5 years ago they had Epstein-Barr virus and mono that they didn't know of, and was later tested because of their symptoms, which consumed of extreme fatigue, dizziness, heart palpitations, and later developed food allergies and eczema with lots of inflammation. So she was put on lots of supplements that help with some of the symptoms, but her question is, she can't get rid of the inflammation and eczema, especially in the colder months. When it's just a little bit cold, she has a bad, very itchy rash on her arms, hands, and back. So are there any supplements that you could recommend based on just her symptoms?
Yeah, so let's just, I always recommend that they seek out a healthcare professional that can really test her and really pinpoint these, because especially in the more complex cases like this, you need somebody on hand. So I strongly recommend Jeff Nisnik there at the Weiner Wellness Center, or Dr. Hahnemann. But Jeff can do what's known as reverse allergy treatments as well. So, and he can really pinpoint specifically what you are allergic to as well. But generally speaking, eczema is a GI issue. And it's really a candida overgrowth issue. So if I were to just generalize, we've had great results, okay, with our Candy Kill, as I mentioned. Take that early in the morning with food, and then our SBC at night, which is a very special type of probiotic that pulls the yeast from the body, and then GI Complete, okay? That is my general recommendation, but I would strongly recommend that they make an appointment to see Jeff or Dr. Hahnemann, and they can do some additional testing as well. But with that protocol, we have had great success with eczema.
Awesome, great answer, Mike. One more question. I know this person has been on a lot of the videos lately. She might have missed this as you addressed it, but again, can you reiterate some of the recommendations of supplements to help with Lyme disease?
Right. So again, I always strongly recommend you seek out a healthcare practitioner like Jeff. Is excellent for Lyme's, as well as Dr. Hahnemann, because they can fine-tune this. But our general recommendation for Lyme's is DMG and our immune tincture. and vitamin D. Those would be my top 3 choices if I were to pick out of our supplements. Again, if you're experiencing brain issues, Brain Boost. If you're experiencing pain and joint issues, X-Flame or Inflame or Turmeric Plus for the pain, and HA Plus to rebuild. So again, there's lots of different theories on LAMS, lots of different perspectives on it. But we've had great success with people who have tried those formulas out. But I do, again, recommend that they meet with Jeff or Dr. Hahnemann to really fine tune that program.
Awesome. This might be our last question, but we have someone currently breastfeeding and taking a prenatal, and she's wondering if she can transition to the Woman's Complete instead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this was designed especially for breastfeeding women, for prenatal, for women of all ages. Absolutely, 100%. So again, transition. If you have product by anybody else, I would finish it, just because you bought it, I would finish it up. But then the next, when you're ready to, after that, give this a chance and see and feel the difference. But it is, like I said, something we're really proud of, something we worked on a long, long time with. And we're so happy and excited it's available now to Women's Complete. So prenatal, post, baby, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, great. Thanks for addressing those questions, Mike. So this is our last slide here. If you want to wrap up anything in regards to the immune system, and we'll finish up here.
Yep. So this is one of our solution brochures. This is our immune solution brochures. And we have these on our website, and you have these at Dr. Weiner's Wellness Center on the top shelf in the back. And so if you need hard copies anytime, you can grab these, and we have them for any different one. But this is our immune one. And this one is set up a little bit differently than all the others, because again, we know there's basic foundation, as we talked about, whether it's vitamin D, whether it's vitamin C, and so forth, whether it's immune tincture, or we had advanced. And again, advanced would be if you have under more stress situations. Again, and then on the food side, again, there's a basic list of healthy foods we'd like you to try to start eating and focusing on. And again, if you have immune issues, then the advanced solutions can come into play there. So these are just nice little checklist, nice little, we call them nutritional prescription list, right? So people are used to getting prescriptions. This is a nutritional prescription list. And again, these are all on the website. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. It's a little bit different. I wish I was at Weiner's Wellness there, like I always have been for the last 10 years. Or 15 years, going back to Doc with my other company, 15 years. But this is the next best thing. Please share this with as many people you think might be interested. We're just here to help. We can change lives if people give us a chance. That's what it's all about. And again, take advantage while they are on special, of course, at Dr. Weiner's. Again, they're doing curbside now and shipping now while this situation with COVID-19, of course, we have to play by the rules, and this is the rules we're given. But this is the next best thing. So I want to thank everybody for joining me, like I said, and thank you, Candace, for helping me set this up, and everybody, Nutrition Frontiers, and I wish everybody very safe and happy day.